There's a story of Reb Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev that whenever he would come to the passage about the four sons in the Passover Seder, he would stop on the one that doesn't know how to ask. And he would pause, and he would say, "Oh, Rabbonu Shel Olam, I am the son who doesn't know how to ask. How could I possibly know how to ask what the meaning of all this is? And even if I could ask and you could tell me, I couldn't bear the answer. I don't think my brain would be able to hold that. But one thing I do want to ask is not, why do I suffer, but how do I suffer for you? Not why, but how do I suffer for you? How does the suffering become an act of love?" And because it says in the Haggadah, "And you shall explain it to your son on that day," so Hashem, you're obligated to explain it to me right now. How do I suffer for you? So I think the message here is that suffering is not the meaning of existence, but it does often cause us to ask the meaning of existence because it's not pleasant. So what's the meaning of this? Why do I have to go through this? And it's very clear that though the mind grasps at intellectual answers, and it might be very tempting to want to get satisfied with something that's philosophical, some concept that you can believe in, that you can latch onto, ultimately it's like trying to taste food with your hands. You just can't do it, no matter how much food you smear on your hands. There's no sense there for that. You can't taste it. And to the degree that we can touch in on what it means to live for the sake of love, then that grasping of the mind doesn't arise. Because we know intuitively that this is why we're here. We don't have to understand it with our minds. We don't have to demand a philosophical explanation because we know it intuitively. And this understanding about living for love, it doesn't mean just or even primarily romantic love, although it definitely includes that because it includes everything. It means living moment to moment, giving ourselves over to the fullness of what actually is from a spirit of love. The ego does the opposite of that. It's the opposite. And we need that too, because the mind has to figure things out and calculate. But the tendency is that we identify with that function. We identify with the mind, and we sense the me as the one that's trying to control, that's trying to get away from the unpleasant, go toward the pleasant, get some type of something out of life that we choose. But it's possible to drop all that. And especially when we sit in meditation, the invitation is to relax and put aside that sense of the me that wants to get something, and instead actually just receive this moment as it appears as an act of love.
Thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and click the bell to receive notifications when new content is uploaded, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Another great way to support Torah of Awakening and also gain support for your own awakening is to become a member. You can try it free for 1 month, and when you do, you'll be able to meditate along with our growing community by tuning into our weekly live streams or watching later at your convenience. You'll also access hundreds of archived videos and audio recordings, Hebrew chants, guided meditation sessions, and much more. You'll also be able to have a free intro spiritual coaching call with me, as well as an annual call included in the membership. You can join 1 month free at torahofawakening.com. Torah of Awakening is all about helping you to access the spacious depths of your own being beyond your mind and your feelings. This is sometimes called pure consciousness or pure awareness, also traditionally known as the soul. The more you come to know this eternal dimension of your being, which is really your own divine nature, the more freedom you'll have from stress and negativity, and the more creativity, joy, and peace you will feel. In fact, everything in your life, from work to relationships to health, will all benefit from Torah of Awakening meditations and teachings. So why put it off? It's free for a month. Just go to torahofAwakening.com and sign up, and I'll see you there. All blessings.